Well, by now you know that sound. It means it's time for Cuyahoga's Most Wanted. Every week we work with Crime Stoppers of Cuyahoga County and the Cuyahoga County Sheriff's Department to feature 3 fugitives who could be out on our street right now when they need to be in front of a court, in front of a judge in a courtroom facing serious charges. We're going to welcome back in after a couple of weeks off Detective Red Dyer with the Cuyahoga County Sheriff's Department. Detective, how are you?
Excellent, Dan. It's good to be back.
Yeah, great to get back in the swing of things. It's not for the lack of fugitives, I'll tell you that. When we start talking about this partnership with Crime Stoppers of Cuyahoga County, and it really does branch out into all of Northeast Ohio, what is this partnership about between Channel 19 and the Sheriff's Department and Crime Stoppers?
Well, Dan, I think it's important that we recognize the value of the eyes and ears of our community in solving these cases and getting justice for these victims, building that community trust that we value so much. And it also opens up the potential for the community themselves to earn a potential monetary reward, which we'll get in.
We love the men and women of our law enforcement. It's just they can't be everywhere all the time. Like our thousands and thousands of residents, people who live here in their own communities, their own neighborhoods, who want them safer. It looks like we've lost his connection. We've got Red back there, and we'll continue on. Forge on here. Red, this is a refeature on Cuyahoga's Most Wanted. This happens from time to time when somebody has been featured, and we need to bring them back, especially in a serious case. That is what we have here, an aggravated murder case. Let's get to the details of Demetrius Caffee. What do we know?
Well, Dan, we know that in May of last year, Demetrius entered the home of a known associate and shot the victim multiple times, killing them. So we're talking about a very serious crime here. He then fled prior to police arrival. He has a criminal history dating back to 2018 to include domestic violence and unlawful restraint. He should be considered armed and extremely dangerous, somebody that we want off our streets as soon as possible. He's approximately 5'9" and 140 pounds and was last known to be staying in the 11,000 block of Tarson Terrace in the city of Akron.
And we also know the U.S. Marshal's Office has been after Demetrius for this very same case. So if you know where he might be, this is going to be a very important tip for Crime Stoppers and the U.S. Marshals. Let's get to our second case. What do we know about Anthony Brown?
Well, Dan, Mr. Brown is wanted for a domestic violence and endangering children case with the Cuyahoga County Sheriff's Department, and I know how passionately our community feels about their children. According to reports in January of this year, it's alleged that he punched the juvenile victim in the back of the head several times. He actually has a criminal history with the Sheriff's Department dating back to 2010, and he has a history of domestic violence as he was convicted in Trumbull County in 2014. He's approximately 5'11" and 135 pounds and was last known to be staying in the 900 block of Brainerd Road in the city of Highland Heights.
And as Red said, we get a lot of tips when it comes to crimes against children that come into Crime Stoppers. That's why we know this program works. Red, before we get to our third and final fugitive, we're just going to take a quick 60-second break. Just give us 1 minute. And we're back. Red, let's get to our third and final case of the week for Cuyahoga's Most Wanted. What do we know about the Michael Adkins case?
Well, Dan, what we know is that he actually has 4 warrants with the Cuyahoga County Sheriff's Department, 2 of which are for violating his probation. According to reports in March of 2023, officers attempted to stop a vehicle that had been reported stolen. And as we know, traffic stops with officers can be dangerous because they are so unpredictable. When officers stopped the vehicle, Michael fled on foot but was apprehended. In 2022 and 2023, he actually pled guilty to unauthorized use of a motor vehicle in 2 separate cases. He was placed on a GPS monitor. However, he cut his monitor off and fled. And our GPS monitoring unit takes the public safety very seriously, Dan. Very talented individuals over there. Warrants were issued for his arrest. He's considered a repeat violent offender with the Sheriff's Department due to a conviction of aggravated burglary in 1993. He's approximately 5'6" and 140 pounds and was last known to be staying in the 12,000 block of Chesterfield Ave in the city of Cleveland.
A lot of charges there, especially when it comes to stolen vehicles, stolen cars. That's why we need Mr. Michael Adkins off our street. Red, we've seen the updated numbers from Crime Stoppers, whether directly or indirectly. We are at a 70%, that's 70% capture rate with individuals that have been featured on Crime Stoppers, partly because of this program, partly because of the amazing work of the men and women of the Cuyahoga County Sheriff's Department. People don't like to get involved. People are saying, I know this guy is on my street. I know this woman goes to this corner bar. I know which family member is hiding that person out, but they don't want to be the one responsible. That's why this program works. We're going to get to that in a second. You can't be afraid to make a difference in your community, to stop the next crime from happening. When somebody wants to call Crime Stoppers, what do we do? What do you folks do that makes them feel comfortable?
Well, Dan, as we discuss every week, we don't record the phone calls. We don't ask for your name or any identifying information. All the contact you have through us is going to be provided to you through an anonymous tip number that we give to you when you call us, so our information is never exchanged.
And that's what's so important is there's not going to be some court date next week where this person's going to get hauled in and they're going to say, oh, the tip came in from Joe Smith and that's how we brought you in. That's not going to happen because they don't have your name. You're going to get a reference number. Think of it like a package tracking number that we've all had. You call back 45 days later, give them your tracking number, and see if your tip led to a reward. Detective Red Dyer, when we start talking of up to a $5,000 reward, what do you like to remind people?
That crime doesn't pay, but Crime Stoppers does.
Crime Stoppers does pay, and you clean up your neighborhood at the same time. Detective Red Dyer, as always, phenomenal. You, the men, women of the Cuyahoga County Sheriff's Department, our law enforcement across Northeast Ohio, stay safe out there, but let's go get them.
Thank you, Dan. It's been a pleasure.
All right, take care. That's going to wrap it up. Again, if you have any tip that could lead to an arrest and lead to some money in your pocket, 216-252-7463 is that number directly to Crime Stoppers. That's not a call that comes right here to Channel 19. That goes to Crime Stoppers. If we have any other breaking news, it'll be right here on our digital platforms. Our 11 o'clock news, just about 20 minutes away on CW43. Then at noon, our news and first alert weather will be on Channel 19. Until then, I'm Dan DeRose with 19 News. Have a great day. Let's go get them.
19 News is everywhere. Download our CTV apps and find